This Sunday, former Arsenal winger Perry Groves will be at the Emirates for the Sunday session during the North London derby. Let's look ahead to that one now with former Spurs goalkeeper Brad Friedel joins us. Hello, Brad. How are you?
Good, Andy. How are you? Benty, what's happening?
Fried, what's happening? You right?
Yeah, really good. Really good.
Do I know you well enough to call you Frieds or not?
No, because I'll tell you what, the last time Benty said hello to me when I was at the studios, I was sitting on that little settee doing an interview and you blanked me. You walked right by.
Brad, I'm so glad you said that because everybody thinks he's the nicest guy, and
sorry.
that is him to a T. That.
No, that you opened up the door. You didn't look anywhere around you. I was gonna stop my interview and say a quick hello, and you just walked on.
Yeah, Brad, I remember that. That was the day my cat died.
Don't you dare lie.
I can only apologise. Let me just point out there are lots of people that I would have blanked, but you're not one of them. So if that was the case, I can only apologise, Mr. Friedel.
All right, Frieds.
So glad you got out.
So anyway, Frieds, what are your memories? You played 2 games, I think I'm right in saying, Spurs v Arsenal. That was 2011, 2012. One of them 2-1 at home, lost the other one. Won't talk about the other one. But what's the build-up like before a North London derby for the players? Is it no different to any other Premier League game?
I mean, the build-up in the weeks is no different. But when you get to Friday, if you're playing on Saturday, or Saturday when you're playing on Sunday, it becomes a bit bigger, a bit special. I think Kyle Walker scored the winner at White Hart Lane when we won 2-1. We were full of confidence going at the Emirates. I think it ended up 5-2, if memory serves me correctly, and we got torn apart in the second half. But we had a good team back there. They were exciting games. But if you win, your fans go home really happy. You go home full of confidence, and Benty will tell you it's a great 24, 48 hours after a derby win. When you lose, it's a terrible 24, 48 hours after. These are special occasions, and it gives bragging rights to your local rival. And in this case, what Postecoglou's come in and done, what Arteta's come in and done, it's also a top of the table clash. So this should be a real special game. A lot of tremendous players in store for us to watch. It'll be tremendous. Rice, Odegaard against Basuma, Maddison, likely. Who can win the midfield battle? Inverted wingers on both sides. Who can isolate their wingers? This should be a special occasion.
Freeze, how important is it for both teams that they play the game and not the occasion?
I think that's always important in these games. You know, the best of the teams over the years. Man City does it now. The Man United's in the past. Arsenal's of the past. Chelsea's always played the game, no matter how big the occasion was. I think if you have players that get caught up in the occasion, in a silly sending off, or it's too big of an occasion and they can't mentally get around it, then I think you have some issues.
Listen, let me ask you about this, actually, because I want to get your view on the Ramsdale-David Raya situation. The Arsenal manager, Mikel Arteta, has been speaking ahead of the weekend's North London derby. He admitted that Ramsdale will be frustrated after losing his place in the team. Have a listen.
I understand that, and it's very difficult with every player, and I suffer and I care about every player that is not playing, but this is my job as well to make decisions in the best possible way for the team. And he's been very supportive, he's been really good around the place, and that's what I expect from every single player, because when you are on that field, there is someone else that is not.
Benty said earlier on that if David Raya starts for Arsenal, that he thinks that he's Mikel Arteta's number one. Is that how you see it?
Absolutely. I thought from the second they signed him to be the number one. I don't think you pay that amount of money with someone with 1 year left on their contract. I know he signed an extra contract and went on loan, but I believe that was for other reasons. I think they really like Ryan. When he became available, they pushed for him. Very harsh on Ramsdale, but it's a coach's decision. I'm assuming Ramsdale at the end of this season is going to have to do what Matt Turner did at the end of this previous season, and is find another place to play. I know people say it's early and you have to see how Raya does, but I think he was brought in as the number one. You thought maybe they could be swapping if they played Ramsdale in the Champions League, but that didn't occur. So yeah, I think we'll see Raya in the goal, and I think Raya will be the incumbent number one this season.
Do you feel a bit sorry for Ramsdale, though, because he's come into a club, a lot of scrutiny when he first got to Arsenal because of the back-to-back relegations, but he came in, did really well. Have you got a little bit of sympathy for him? Because if I remember rightly, when you came to Spurs, you had, was it Cudicini was there and Gomez?
Yeah, Cudicini and Gomez. I wasn't frustrated at all at Spurs. I mean, I came in and I played anyways, but I was told what was happening. I'm pretty certain Raya was told something, and that's happening. I think yes. If I were Ramsdale, I'd be really frustrated. I think he's a top goalkeeper. I think the good news for him is I think he'll find somewhere to land, and it'll be a top club. But yeah, I thought he played really well last season. Mikel Arteta said he wants to have 2 or 3 deep at each position. I think goalkeeper position's tough to have that, Venti. I think your number one needs to know he's a number one, and you'll get the best out of him. I think it's really important for that number one to play with the back four on a consistent basis in front of them. And if you are going to swap, I don't think that works very well. Last season, Matt Turner's an excellent goalkeeper, and last season when he had made a mistake in the Europa League, they quickly took him out and put Ramsdale back in. I think having games, letting if your goalkeeper does make a mistake, you back him. He's your number one. You want him to have confidence, because every keeper is going to make a mistake every now and again. But it's really difficult to play as a goalkeeper if you think, if I make a mistake, I'm going to be dropped. I don't think that's a good psyche to have as a goalkeeper.
All right, listen, let me get your views on the actual game, because, of course, both of these teams go into unbeaten, and they've hit some fine form of late. So how do you see it going? Obviously, Arsenal have home advantage.
I don't think we're going to see a 0-0. Now I've just jinxed it probably. Yeah, I mean, these teams attack. They put so many bodies in the center of midfield, and then look to spring 1v1 opportunities up front, especially on the wings. And they both have an incredible amount of pace. And if Arsenal can isolate Saka one-on-one as many times as possible, Zinchenko, if he comes inside, can Tottenham win that area in midfield and then counter attack with their pace, going the other way with Son and Kulusevski, et cetera, et cetera. So I think the 4 players that I'm going to have my eye on really is Rice and Odegaard, and then Basuma and Maddison. Because there's going to be a lot of bodies in the midfield. If you can win that little area and then get the ball into your players that are isolated 1v1, we could see a high scoring game going both ways. Arsenal's only scored, I think, 8 or 9 goals this season. Tottenham have scored more. Perhaps that's just who's come on the fixture list, but I do not see this being goalless. I see it being exciting. I think Arsenal are still probably a little bit more put together than Tottenham, but Postecoglou's done a great job in a short space of time. So, this could be one of those exciting 3-3 draws. Who knows?
Fried, some people have suggested that potentially that Ange Postecoglou might have to change his tactics because of how Arsenal play and how his football is quite open. Do you agree with that, or do you think he should go into the game the exact same way he's been doing it this season?
I think he should go in the exact same way, and when you look at the history of what he's done, he's generally done that. If you look at Man City, very rarely changes. They do subtle tactical changes. You'd see Liverpool do the same. Tottenham will get caught on the counter attack. There's no doubt. When you invert your winger and come in, you're not going to keep hold of the ball all the time. They'll concede chances, but Arsenal will also concede some chances to Tottenham. And I think if Postecoglou will probably think, I'll keep persevering. We're high of confidence. We're in a great vein of form right now. If we take a goal, we're going to likely score a goal. I think that will be his view on this. I'd be really surprised if we see Tottenham in a defensive posture. I don't see Postecoglou's sides having done that in the past.
Okay. Listen, Fried, thanks so much for coming on. Again, apologies if you thought I blanked you, but I genuinely didn't see you, right? But what I will say is later that night, me, Cudicini and Gomez had a great night out in the pub. So
very, very good. Thanks, guys.
Hey, listen, we're big fans of yours. Really appreciate your time coming on to the drive on talkSPORT. So enjoy the game. Have a great weekend. We'll speak to you in a bit.
Cheers, Fried.
I will do. See you, man. Bye.
Thanks, man. There you go, the wonderful Brad Friedel. Or Freeds now.
So that's funny. I'm so glad that he aired you, because that's
No,
what you're
Benny,
like.
You're painting a bad picture.
I didn't paint it. He's what you did it. It's fact.
Hold on.
This is factual.
No. The big point you're missing out is, yes, I am like that,
Yeah.
but not to famous people. All right? So that was obviously him. I'm joking, everyone. All right? Why would I blank him?
Oh, you tell me. You did it. It's factual. I'm not speculating.
No. I remember
Poor Freeds, man.
No,
Poor Freeds, man.
I don't even remember that day. I feel absolutely terrible. Anyway, Gomez Cudicini gives a chat, and we'll.
Do you want to get Carlo on?
Do you know him?
Yeah.
Why have you got him on before?
You never asked.
He was a good goalkeeper, wasn't he? When he was at Chelsea, he was a good goalkeeper. Really good goalkeeper.
He had the
motorbike accident, horrible. That was. Well, Gomez, should we get him on? He saved all your penalties, didn't he?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, let's definitely get him on.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.